Racing fans, welcome to Watkins Glen for the third round of the LFM ACC Sprint Cup season under the lights. The field is ready to take the green flag for this rare night race on the high-speed road course. All eyes will be on Bourne, the unconventional driver starting 17th, as he looks to spread his outlandish Nitro Nirvana cult philosophy. Will he try any bizarre recruitment tactics from behind the wheel, or can he keep his mind on the racing? Tempers could flare in the darkness ahead. Drivers are buckled in, tires are hot, and we're just moments from going green. The green flag is out, and we're underway at Watkins Glen. What an iconic sight, seeing the cars charge toward the Go Bowling sign to start this event. That neon sign has become synonymous with NASCAR racing at this legendary road course. Bourne rolls off 17th, looking to quickly make his way toward the front and spread his Nitro Nirvana cult messaging. Having passed the Go Bowling sign, Bourne is already putting his cult recruitment into action. He's swerving towards lapped cars, attempting to initiate them into Nitro Nirvana through danger. You can see him waving pamphlets out the window, spreading his combustion enlightenment teachings. An incredibly risky strategy, but Bourne seems focused on growing his flock over racing clean. Trouble in the bus stop chicane! Multiple cars have gone spinning and are buried in the sand traps. It looks like Bourne tried to pitch some Nitro Nirvana literature through a competitor's window, causing them to check up and triggering this melee. We've got the 24, 48, and 8 cars stuck. Safety crews scrambling to dig them out as the full course caution flies. We've just received an interesting pamphlet here in the commentary booth, seemingly slipped under the door during that caution period. Let me describe what it says. Awaken your engine's pure potential. Join the Nitro Nirvana disciples. Cast off the shackles of piston drudgery and ascend to a higher plane of speed transcendence. Through sacred combustion rites taught by our prophet of pace, Bourne, you can merge your consciousness with the eternal slipstream. Initiate start as pre-mix Padawans changing tires and refueling. But through increasing devotion to the roar of the V8, you'll unlock abilities like pushing a top-fueled dragster solely through meditation. The ultimate enlightenment, red line realization, when your essence becomes one with the racing line itself. Well, that's certainly one of the more outlandish recruitment pamphlets I've received. Though I can't endorse joining any cult, I am admittedly intrigued by Bourne's unorthodox spiritual philosophies, combining motorsports with spiritual awakening, let's say. Perhaps we'll get to the bottom of this Nitro Nirvana during today's race. For now, the cleanup continues in that bus stop chicane. Bourne has battled up to 15th position after that early caution, and he's engaged in an intense 3-car battle with fair weather ahead and fight behind. The trio are running nose to tail, dicing and jockeying for position. You can see Bourne swerving between them, clearly trying to distribute more Nitro Nirvana pamphlets to recruit new disciples. He's waving the literature out the window right in their faces. Fairweather knocks one pamphlet out of the air with the papers fluttering across his windshield. Fayette briefly sticks his hand out the window to take one, maybe legitimately intrigued, but quickly pulls it back in as Bourne darts low looking for a passing opportunity on fair weather. Fate slams the door on Bourne through that corner. These two competitors clearly want no part of the Nitro Nirvana right now. Meanwhile, Bourne is still hanging tight despite these aggressive recruitment efforts. He's maintaining a... Oh my goodness! Bourne has just driven straight into the side of Lavery's car. I can't believe what we're witnessing. Bourne came charging up the inside into turn 7, but it looks like he was too focused on trying to pass out more Nitro Nirvana pamphlets and never even saw Lavery positioned there. How he misjudged that angle so severely, I'll never understand. Was he blinded by his fervor to grow his cult? Did the intoxicating philosophy of combustion enlightenment cloud his vision? Or was this simply a crazy oversight by an overzealous driver? Whatever the reason, it's an absolutely catastrophic incident that we're seeing unfold. Bourne has now plummeted all the way back to 18th position after that shocking crash with Lavery. His battered car is struggling for pace, and he's holding up a long train of frustrated drivers behind him. As Bourne limps around the circuit, you can clearly hear the loud jeers and chants raining down from the frustrated crowd. Get off the track! and no more cults. They're yelling vociferously. Some fans are even throwing those Nitro Nirvana pamphlets that were handed out earlier, the papers fluttering onto the racing surface in protest of Bourne's erratic driving. A chorus of boos is erupting every time Bourne's damaged machine appears on the front stretch. You can sense the growing anger and restlessness among the spectators who just want to see a clean, competitive race without these sideshow antics. Up and down the grandstands, fans are turned away in disgust, shaking their heads at Bourne's desperate recruitment tactics. Bourne's pit stop strategy, or lack thereof, has now put him in a precarious second-last position after that green flag run. And the last-place car of Jover is closing in quickly, determined to put Bourne's battered machine a lap down. You have to wonder, what is going through Bourne's mind at this point? Is he slowing deliberately, hoping to get lapped so he can use it as a recruiting opportunity? Start badgering Jover with more of his Nitro Nirvana manifesto over the radio channels. Or does Bourne actually think he's still in contention with this compromised race car, choosing to follow some sort of misguided pit window based on combustion cycle calculations rather than actual race strategy? Perhaps he believes fresh tires are against the spirit of merging with his machine. Either way, Jover is now looming larger in Bourne's mirrors, the lapsed traffic ahead only complicating matters. Wait a minute, we've got a shocking development. Olivio has run wide, exiting the carousel, kicking up dirt and grass off the racing surface. And somehow in that chaos, Bourne has found an opening to slice past and stay on the lead lap. I can't believe what I'm seeing here! Olivio seemed to have the preferred line through that high-speed sweeping turn. But whether it was a lapped car distracting him or Bourne attempting another reckless recruit by swerving toward him, Olivio simply missed his mark. And like a vulture seizing on the misfortune of others, Bourne capitalized in a heartbeat. He threw that beat-up machine down towards the apex and somehow emerged ahead of Olivio when they rejoined the racing line. What incredible opportunism and desperation by Bourne. You know he's going to take this as some kind of sign from the driving forces that his unorthodox philosophies are being rewarded. Oh wow, we were just inches away from a massive collision between Bourne and Jover. As Bourne slowed to negotiate lapped traffic, Jover came charging up behind at full speed and had to take dramatic evasive action. But with Bourne obliviously holding his line, Jover was forced to hurl his machine up towards the wall at the last split second. Trouble looming once again as Bourne has now set his sights on Thomas further up the road. Bourne is sizing up the back of Thomas's car, looking for any opportunity to make a move as they navigate heavy lapped traffic. And there he goes. Bourne is swerving and jinking aggressively behind Thomas, fainting high, then dropping shockingly low on the apron. You can see Thomas having to defensively move his line to cut off Bourne's audacious passing attempts, but Bourne keeps coming. Left, right. He's probing every possible inch for an opening on Thomas. At one point, he got his front wing partially underneath Thomas before being forced to back out. Incredible bravery or recklessness from Bourne. Thomas has to be terrified and furious simultaneously at these erratic maneuvers from the cult leader. You know he's screaming over the radio about getting this lunatic off his tail before there's a major incident. Bourne seems hell-bent on taking Thomas out to pick up another position. Wait, now Bourne is reaching out of the window and tossing something onto Thomas's windshield. Just as Bourne was harassing Thomas with those outrageous swerves and pamphlet tosses, Jover has caught right back up to Bourne's rear bumper. Jover is all over the back of Bourne now. You can see the nose of his car twitching side to side as he looks for a way past. And you know he's out for revenge after that hair-raising near miss a few laps ago. Bourne is now pinned between Thomas ahead and Jover behind. Wait a minute, something doesn't add up here. Fate's car has slowed dramatically, but there's no obvious signs of mechanical failure. No smoke, no sparks, no fluids leaking on the track. It's almost as if the car just went to sleep. The battle between Bourne and Thomas is reaching a fever pitch as they scream down the front stretch side by side once again. Their cars are literally banging doors, paint scraping and sparks showering as neither driver yields an inch at nearly 200 miles.
below, you can hear the raw emotion and intensity boiling over. Tomas is absolutely livid, screaming at his crew, "Get this lunatic off of me! He's going to wreck us both with his voodoo expletive." I'm not becoming some Nitro Nirvana freak today. Meanwhile, Bourne is in an eerily calm, trance-like state, chanting ominously on the radio. Yes, yes, Thomas, let the high-octane energy merge with your essence. The piston spirits are calling you, brother! Submit to the supercharger serenity and achieve ultimate velocity! Bourne is trying to lull Thomas into some kind of meditative state with his mesmerizing cult speak, all while relentlessly hounding him corner after corner, slipstream to slipstream. The mental warfare is just as fierce as the physical battle on track. Thomas shoots back, "Shut your trap, you whack job! I'm not falling for your trippy mind games! I'll dump your expletive in your shots." The gravel trap first. Bourne simply laughs maniacally, retorting, "Resist all you want, but the tachometer truths cannot be denied. Soon you'll be reborn in 110-octane ecstasy, riding the eternal RPM to glory. One of us, Thomas, one of us." This is psychological warfare, pushing 200 mph, and it's only a matter of time before one of them snaps. The old adage of rubbing is racing has been replaced by proselytizing is power. What a bizarre new dimension to the concept of track rage. As we come to the final lap here at Watkins Glen, it's been nothing short of a disastrous outing for Bourne and his Nitro Nirvana cult. After all the chaos and controversy, Bourne limps around in 19th position, his car battered and his ideology in tatters. We're getting word from Pit Road that many of Bourne's once devoted followers are abandoning the Nitro Nirvana compound in droves. The promises of glory and transcendence through reckless driving and supernatural sabotage have rung hollow as Bourne failed to deliver on track. The scene down there is one of disillusionment and anger. Crew members are tearing off their greasy robes and tossing their sacred timing sheets into improvised burn barrels. Bitter arguments are breaking out over the true interpretation of the Red Line Scrolls and Slipstream Sutras. Bourne's pit prophet has apparently locked himself in the team hauler, claiming he needs to meditate on the mystic piston for guidance. But it all reeks of desperation and delusion as this once fanatical cult collapses as quickly as it emerged. On track, Bourne cuts a lonely, dejected figure, his wild driving and unhinged proselytizing reduced to a pathetic whimper. The racing gods have delivered their harsh verdict. The way of the Nitro Nirvana is nothing but a sham, a false gospel of grease and gasoline. As Bourne takes the checkered flag in humiliating defeat, one has to wonder if this marks the end of his reign as the deranged guru of Go Fast. Will the Nitro Nirvana become nothing more than a cautionary tale, a fleeting footnote in the annals of bizarre racing cults? The mighty fall hard in motorsports, and Bourne's plummet from grace has been especially precipitous. His future and that of his shattered cult now lie in ruin, scattered to the winds like so much exhaust smoke.